Oh yeah.
I'll just wait for it to do the show.
Are we live? Maddie, are we live?
We are. You shared this
Cool,
video.
cool, yeah, okay, I think we've shared.
Fabulous.
Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Nice for you to be here again. Yet another Thursday and another digital busking session. Digital busking session number 6, I think it is. I think it's number 6. That's what I put on there anyway. How are we? Thanks for giving up your Thursday again. As usual, it's astounding that you do that for me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So let's get the usual things underway. Please like and share this post as much as you can. If you're watching for the first time, please give me the thumbs up. If you've been here before, give us the hearts, because we like to see how things are evolving, etc. Yeah, my PayPal link is openpaypal.me/JepSongs. Of course, let us know where you are in the world. We've been loving this. Lots of people reporting from Australia, New Zealand, lots of German people. She's great. We've been all over the place, and obviously up and down the length and breadth of these aisles. So if you want to let us know where you are and what, actually Ket was saying earlier on that we ought to start a new feature based on the fact we've been watching the Royal Family for, since we've been watching all the Royal Family, okay? So Jim Royal is now essentially etched into this building. So we reckon we want to do a thing. What have you been having for your tea? What have you having for your tea, Jim? What have you had, Dave? So what have you had for your tea? Maybe even a picture, who knows? So, you know, that's a new little feature. That's Ket's idea, not mine. But anyway, I'm bringing it in because it's a whole organisation. There's people over there. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So, anyway, so how are we doing for numbers there, ladies? How are we getting on? Great, lovely. Just getting going for a little while. So yes, official website, tobyjetsonofficial.com, and we put these on YouTube. I'm gathering quite a sort of healthy amount of YouTube stuff going on there, which is tobyjetsonofficial.com if you want to go and have a look at that and join up and all the rest of it. So yeah, so this week I'm going to say it now because I'm so proud of this. I'm very, very pleased. We've sold out of the Viewfinder CDs. Thank you so much. That's absolutely brilliant. We didn't expect that. We're really chuffed. Thank you so much. So tonight was like the final sort of, I guess I was going to do this as a kind of carry on just talking about the album, but so it's a celebration tonight. This is what it is. We've got I even got some champagne. It's empty. Not going to do well. There's one up there. Maybe I'll have it later. Who knows? But yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for being so dedicated to the idea, and that's brilliant. And we know they're going to get. I think the pre-order comes to a close tomorrow. There are t-shirts are still available until tomorrow if anyone's interested, but if not, you know, well, as soon as we get that done and dusted, we will be taking it all off sale and we will be getting them in the post. So there we are, so appreciate it. So tonight is a little bit, I'm going to explore some of the sort of deeper cuts on Viewfinder, and it's been a bit of a challenge, I've got to be honest. Some of these songs were never, I mean, most of them have never been played live, that's the first thing. And as I was working on these songs this week, I realised I'd kind of composed myself into a corner with a couple of them. So I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll see. It's all good fun though, it's all good analysis, isn't it? So I'm going to start off with the one that opens the album. This has never been played. This was done at the studio up in Scarborough. It's called Better Off Dead. Everybody's down upon their knees, praying for it all to pass. Paralyzed by terror on the streets, your good times will not last. And that's what the papers say, but we all think we're free, contained and unique. One word from the hand, we beat like sheep. I heard that the changing again. Tell me now, can we make amends? There's a hole in the sky. We're making our heads believe what they say. Good enough dead, but I don't know why. We're close to the edge, no reason to be. Good enough dead. This rain tried to ignite your soul. Don't you put your shit on me. You'll confess the war. Oh, no, now that on is never free. Take the sleep right on your eyes and stop making sense. close that was to the edge. Actually, funny enough, lyric in there brought it into the real world. So yeah, cool, very cool. Well, not too bad, not too bad. I'm going to do another one. This one is kind of this is a bit of an oddity, and I've talked about this a little bit. This was one of the very first songs I wrote when I was kind of coming back straight after the Angels split up. And I worked with a guy called Hugh Murphy, who was famous for producing Jerry Rafferty and also the Proclaimers, which was, and he was great. He was a really nice guy, quite an older fella. I had this brilliant studio in Buckinghamshire, and I was working with my publisher at the time, Blair MacDonald. He was a brilliant guy, and he was really, really encouraging. He said, well, look, why don't you just try and write anything? So that's what I kind of did, and didn't really concern myself about whether it was pop music, rock, whatever. And I was working with Pete Thomas as well, who quite influenced me. Pete was obviously the drummer in Elvis Costello's band. And so, yeah, I came up with these few tunes. Quite lightweight, but I've always kind of quite liked it. But see what you think anyway. This one's called Losing Side. Not as easy as you really think, I can tell you. Anyway, okay, what's coming over the ether? Anything going on there? How are we doing?
Would you like to hear what people have had for their tea?
Yes, please. Surprise me.
We've got homemade quiche, roast dinners, fish and
Ah,
chips.
hang on a minute. Roast dinner on a Monday?
It's Thursday.
Thursday? You see? That's what I mean. Not mad at it. We're going crazy. I'm looking at the same four walls. Every day's the same.
Homemade turkey burgers, sausage casseroles, chicken tikka masala.
Hang on, homemade
beef teriyaki and noodles. How posh is that?
teriyaki and noodles. Is that
Beef teriyaki noodles.
beef teriyaki noodles? That sounds like a sort of a funk album title, doesn't it? You know what I mean, from the 1970s. I think.
Anyway, lots of variety.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
but
On this Monday.
But Vera, your friend, poor Vera's had a wisdom tooth removed, so she
Oh,
hasn't had
V.
anything to eat.
Unbelievable. You're not sucking stuff through a straw, are you? That's horrible. I had my wisdom teeth out. I look like Elvis in his later years. Still do. Can't help it. Anyway, there we are. So yeah, a couple of things I mean, I've got a few things to say here. Got a few people sending little messages down the line, of course, as usual. I'll read a couple out. So, John Murdoch, name an album which has influenced you so much lyrically to the point that you quote words, lines from it in conversation with others, not necessarily conversations about music. Well, the obvious one for me would be Hunky Dory. David Bowie, of course, there he is. Always looking over the shoulder, always an influence. I can feel it radiating. So yeah, I think Hunky Dory, quite a few. I think the thing is about the lexicon of music and how it enters the lexicon of language. That's really important, and I think that's happened many times, you know. It's the same as any form of written art. I think, you know, look at Dickens and look at Shakespeare, how so many of the words in the English language were formed out of art, you know. So I think it's, I'll probably say these things without even thinking about it as well, which is quite interesting. But good question, that one though. So what we've got here, Andrew Purdon. Hi Andrew. What's your favourite part of the songwriting process? I think the initial moment when you realise you've got something that's really great and it's come out of nowhere often. You know, you can sort of be playing a little idea and all of a sudden it forms into something and you go, and it's like sort of otherworldly, you know. So I think that moment's a really, really cool one. Anything coming down the older line there, ladies?
Would you like to discuss the display?
I think we very ought to.
About the train set?
Yeah, well, no, I've reached that point in my life, I think. That's what we've got here. We've got Pulp Fiction. I think there's a bit of a reflection going on with the old lights there, but that is actually that's the lads.
See it all right, actually.
Does it? Oh, that's John Travolta, obviously, and other lad, Sam Jackson. Couldn't get it on the other way around. Obviously, I wasn't able to wrap it round, but I needed that kind of. I was thinking I needed that sort of Pulp Fiction vibe. Yeah. So what I've got here, this might be a kind of for all you conspiracy theorists out there. Maybe I've been doing something. They're pointing their guns down at the crystal ball on top of a train. Make that connection. So anyway, I don't know. So yeah, this is a few sort of tour passes, things going on here, quite like that. Crystal ball was from the Truth Ain't What It Used to Be video shoots. Thought I'd have that involved. But no, let's get on to the train set. Well, as a little boy, my dad used to buy me Meccano and things like that, and I've got this little old steam engine, which he does still work actually. You put water in it, and then you put a little cube of, I forget what it was, like sort of paraffin cubes, and it used to make the whole thing spin round. But my dad's been building, just like quite a lot of old fellas do. I don't quite know why, but they do. And I'm heading into that echelon. I'm going into that thing now, aren't I? Right? He's built a big train set up in his loft, and it's magnificent. It's got tiny little, you know, obviously all the little people, but he's built this whole sidings. It's like you're going into a different world. And he sent me some pictures of it this week, and it looks magnificent. And I just happened to say, maybe I'll build one. That's what turned up in the post. That. So I haven't got anywhere to put it. In fact, Maddie actually looked horrified when it turned up and went, "Where's it going to go?
Yeah.
It's just going to be a mess on the floor." That's exact words. Exact words. So I think I might either build a shed in the garden, which hasn't gone down too well, because that's man and sheds as well, or I'll just wait till we move, so which might be never. So, but it's beautiful. Yeah, the blue streak, the Peregrine blue streak, 00 gauge Hornby train set, classic. I think I've crossed over into a different thing there. I got some Warhol, my dad bought me that as well. So the things there, I got the little ones there, look, my gran, also a bit of a collection going on. And the usual, this side's kind of becoming a little bit more, I thought Darth needed a bit of company with himself. And I got these are great. Evie, our youngest, bought me these. Look at that. I know, the irony, the flipping irony in it. So yeah, quite good fun that, you know, look at this smug twat, honestly. Anyway, yeah, so all good, got the backwards clock, yeah, good things, and I'm pretty chuffed with it this week, so yeah, okay, so we'll come on to another tune, things to talk about later on, but I want to try and get through a few of these tonight. Right, this was one of my favourites. I wrote this, I can't remember when I wrote it, but I was musing on the idea of what some of the aspects of Little Angels, and when we first started going to America, I remember thinking about that around the same sort of time as I wrote Raising My Own Hell. So I was sort of thinking about America and what it meant to me in my visits and all that. And I remembered a situation I had in America where I hired a car. I think I told you about this before, but I hired a car, a Trans Am 5.0. It was white, it was beautiful, it was a convertible, because me and Ket hadn't been long going out, and I hired this car to impress her, obviously, because, you know, that's how I roll. That's how I roll. And I got it out of the lot. We were recording in a studio in A&M Studios in Hollywood, and with it was very flash, you know. It was all very hot. I had me, you know, me Hawaiian shirt on, the whole bit. I looked amazing, even though I do say so myself. Not really. Anyway, got the car, got out of the studio, got into the car. Mike Lee was on the back parcel shelf bit. I'm driving, literally turned out of the studio onto the highway or into the boulevard, and pulled up to some lights. And I was going towards some lights that were on green. But over in America, the way that the lights work over there is that they change quickly from red to green or green to red without any amber in the middle, really quick. So you've got no chance to have that little bit like we do over here, a bit more relaxed. You cruise through the orange light, don't you? And you never make a problem. This didn't. So I put my foot down, and it was on green, and it had gone red. But these flipping boulevards are massive. So I got sideswiped by an SUV, huge SUV, totaled the car, spun it round in the middle of this intersection. Mike Lee fell off the car into the road. Honestly, this happened. And it all happened in a flash. All my life went before my eyes. And we had to pull over to the side of the road, and the car was a complete write-off. We were surrounded by police with body armour, the whole bit. And eventually I managed to get it back to the yard. And of course, back in the day, this is what this is all about, there was no internet. So I went back home to England, them only having a very basic understanding of who I was. And I started getting phone calls from this bloke in America who was like an insurance thingy going, "What about the car, Mr. Jefferson? We broke the car," and all the rest of it. So I went, I don't know. And eventually they just stopped calling. So I got away with it. So, not that I'm pleased about that, well, I kind of am, but it was 1990 something, so I think they can let me off it. So I wrote a song about it, and I wrote a song about our naivety and about the stupidity of being young kids going to America and not having a clue what to do about it. So I wrote this song called Back in the Day, and it goes like this. Chorus through to it. That was pretty good. Okay, a few more questions. If anyone's got anything over there, please shout them out. I will address these here. Okay, I have a question about Twisted Rhapsodies, please, Toby. The guy with his back to the camera on the cover, what's the story about the very serious haircut? I just wanted to have short hair. Quite fancying it at the moment, actually. Getting a bit bored of all this, aren't I? But we'll see. But yeah, no, I don't know. I was running a building firm at the time, and had to, not get it caught in a drill. So maybe that's my excuse. Okay, here we go. Another one. Darren Nunn. I'm going into hospital for a neck operation tomorrow. I'll save tonight's, so I have to watch something to watch. I've also saved up a few Patreon episodes. Brilliant. Thank you. And we'll mention Patreon at the moment. So yeah, a few things to talk about, I guess. We've had some great stuff going on Patreon. We had a really funny. We've introduced a new Monday night, which we're calling Belly Laughs, to sort of realise that we weren't talking about quite a lot of stuff that really influenced me as a person in general, which is comedy. And British comedy specifically, actually, although, world comedy, of course. But and we had a brilliant one last Monday where we talked about all of that. So quite a lot of good, some really cool subjects coming up. We've got one about sort of myths and legends of the rock and roll business and all the rest of it. So if you're interested in looking at that, go and join Toby and the Whole Truth fan Facebook group, because you'll get all the free stuff as well. I mean, actually, we've been putting the free songs. I don't know if you guys have been getting the free songs, if you've been enjoying those. We've had Overwhelming Me, Bad Just No Good out there, and Smoke in My Eyes last week. So we'll put another one up this week. But you can get those by joining the mailing list or joining Toby and the Whole Truth group. So there we are. Anything coming in over there, ladies? Looking aghast at something a moment ago there. What was one? Yeah?
Any news on the Wayward Sons t-shirt?
Oh, the original Wayward Sons. We had verification that they'd all been posted today. So you should be getting them over the next couple of days, I would have thought. I think the post seems to have improved a little bit, because I also want to say that I've posted all of the lyric sheet orders now. They all went out. I think they put the last batch in the post yesterday. And I think some people even got them today, which was amazing. I think the post might have sort of levelled off a bit, because we were having trouble with that. Not certain how the couriers are working still, but let us know when you get them. Get your posters, your pictures posted of you wearing them, that sort of thing. That would be brilliant. And keep the pictures coming of you guys watching this show. We really like that. That was great. We got some great stuff, and the sock pictures are pretty cool. We're enjoying that as well. Yeah, good. Really good. Like I say, we're celebrating the imminent release of the Viewfinder album. I've actually got a copy of it here. I'm going to show you it now. There it is. Look. You see that? Ooh. The light's not so good, is it? Yeah, really chuffed with that. I showed it on a little bit of a video. Yeah, really pleased. Nice 20-page sort of booklet. It turned out great. You never know, how these things are going to look, but but very, very pleased with that one. So thanks to everyone who's purchased that. So I'll get on to another song. This was the title track of the last compilation I put out, actually. I never played this, but this was a song that I wrote at exactly the same time as I wrote Crush. And I went into the studio with a guy called Head. I think we've discussed him before. Excuse me, get a drink. And we went in a little studio down in Taunton and recorded these two tunes. I'm going to play this one. This one was always a kind of bit of it's a very simple tune, but quite evocative, and I've always quite liked it. It's called Twisted Rhapsody. and share this post, folks. PayPal.me/JepSongs is my PayPal link. And if you're watching live, please comment with a number 1. If you're watching later on through the week, please comment with a number 2. We really like that. We can work out where you are and who's watching what and all the rest of it. And where in the world are you? Have we got any sort of locations coming through there, ladies?
Loads, but I can't remember them all now.
Oh, really?
I
Can't get the staff anymore, honestly. I was saying this last week.
I haven't seen any Australian or New Zealand or Bahrain or anything.
Okay. It's fine.
Yet.
Fine.
Anybody out there from not in England?
Dad,
Yes.
just wish Michael Stevenson a speedy recovery because he's in hospital with COVID and has got pneumonia.
Oh, no.
He's watching. Yeah, lying in my hospital bed.
Michael, please get well, brother. I'm sure you will. Everyone, raise some love hearts for Michael. Come on, let's see those love hearts. Let's send the love down the ether. Come on, let's see it. Yeah, and again, all these shows are dedicated to everyone who's suffering through this process. Specifically, I want to thank everyone on the front line, of course, you know, as ever, NHS specifically, but also all the delivery drivers, you know, good old Jeff Gibson, you know, the guy who runs the Wayward Fans group. I mean, that guy's out in a truck every single day, you know, doing his thing, never moans, gets on with it. Brilliant. Astounding, all of you. This is easy. That is not easy. So, you know, thank you so much. Anything else there? Anything going on there? It's a bit of a quiet night tonight. Anyway, did you get the second episode of Toby TV? Wondering what you're thinking about that? We're trying to evolve it. We might put it on later on rather than in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, I think. So, but we've got some ideas to evolve that. I'd like to know what you feel about that as well. Okay, so we thought we'd change things up a little bit tonight. So I want to welcome a guest to the process. Will you welcome Maddie, my daughter, on vocals. And Mad's going to stand a little bit closer to the phone.
Hi.
Because, hi. And because I think last time when we sang together, it was, I was booming and being a bit noisy. So we're going to try this. So we're going to try a couple of tunes. You know these quite well, I think. Well, we thought we'd give them a go.
Remember the end, you're not going to get it wrong.
Well, if I get it wrong, then that's your fault. Anyway, here we go. When will we learn to love unconditional? When will we learn to touch more tenderness? When will we learn to feel when the pain is real? When will we learn? Will we see? Can we free? when will we learn the truth? 'Cause I don't believe when will we learn to give more than we receive. When will we learn to stop? It's killing what hope we got. When will we learn? When will we Not too bad.
Well done.
Great. Well, stay where you are, Mad, because you very kindly agreed to do a couple. And Maddie is running, I'm going to say this, I don't even care. Maddie is running a whole series of courses for people who want to learn to sing, or you tell them, what's it all about, Mad?
Well, I just set up my business because obviously theatre, that's what I trained in, musical theatre, if you didn't know. So that's what I went to drama school for 3 years, and then obviously graduated into a pandemic, so I've had no luck and money's tight, so I set up my business. And yeah, so I'm just giving singing lessons, private one-to-one singing lessons for anyone who would like to learn to sing. I'm teaching all ages. I did start off with just kids, but I am opening it up to everyone now. So if you're interested, hit me up.
And she's brilliant. And because she's come on tonight, any donations that you give tonight are going to Maddie. So I'm just making that. And that's paypal.me/JepSongs. Yeah, okay, so we thought we'd do another one. This one's one of my absolute favourites I've ever written. I thought Mad would absolutely slay this, and listen to her in rehearsals. She does. So we're going to try this one. Feeling that I get from you when you walk into the room, I can't explain. Like a cool breeze in my mind, warm and rays in summertime are here again. Thanks, love. Brilliant. There we go. Fantastic. Well, you know what? When the pandemic and all the rest of this nonsense goes away, and we're all back to some kind of normality, she's going to shine, I know it. Thanks, folks. Thanks for all the love there. Yeah, okay, so what have I got to tell you? What else have I got to tell you? We have a look on my little sheet here. I didn't have time to write it on my board tonight for a number of reasons, but... Oh yes, Planet Rock. It's my 1 year anniversary. I mentioned that on Toby TV a couple of days ago, yesterday in fact. Can't believe that. It's been going great. It's been such good fun. I never in a million years ever anticipated myself to be a presenter for TV or radio or anything. But it's been good fun, and thank you for indulging me with the whole Toby's Moby thing and all the rest of it. So, who do you think I'm going to be? Who's going to be on Toby's Moby this week? Seems like it's my 52nd show, my whole year's anniversary. Let me know who you think. So yeah, that's like I said, I talked about that on Toby TV episode 2 yesterday. So yeah, cool. I think we've covered just about everything. We've got a few things here. What was here? Oh yeah, I was going to tell you about. I couldn't remember the Monday night clubs on the Patreon, but we've got other clubs coming up. We've got Myths and Legends and Rock and Roll Stories. Then I'm starting to play. This might be interesting. Now I'm just about finished. We're literally 2 songs away from finishing the Wayward Sons mix. We've got some revisions to do, but once that's done, I'm starting a whole process I've mentioned before about doing a new solo record. And I'm going to be playing my scratchy early versions of those songs on Patreon for the Patreons, and we're going to start doing that process pretty soon. So I've got that coming up, the very first new song ideas. Yeah, I've got a load. I'm doing loads of Fans Eye View. We want to record some more of those, and we've got loads of those available for people to watch if you want to. So if you're interested in that, I mean, plus there's all the other stuff on in the archive, Little Angels material stuff that I've played and all the rest of it. So check it out. That's at patreon.com/Toby Jepson. Oh, sorry, /Toby and the Whole Truth. So yeah, there we go. Anything coming in over there?
Lots of questions about Digital Busker socks.
Okay, I know. Well, we talked about. We have talked about this before. I talked to Nick Wastel, who's the guru when it comes to all things apparel. But unfortunately, Nick said to me that it's expensive to produce socks. You got to get them woven, and then you got to get them printed, and I didn't want them printed because I think it sort of wears off. But anyway, so we have looked into it. It will come down to how many people want them, I guess. I'll ask again. We'll ask. Yep. Anything else there?
We've got Kath in Sydney, Australia.
Hey! I knew we'd get somebody from Australia. We've had Australian people over the whole of this new season. That's brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Well, good. Well, that's all good. It's all good, you know. Hey, that's the very fact that you're coming back.
Sunny morning, no doubt.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm sure it's beautiful over there. Okay, so I've got just a couple more things to mention here. What have we got going on here? I just wanted to mention one for my friend Lee Bourne, who's sadly a friend of theirs, and some friends. What have we got here? Dedication. He wanted to add a dedication for all his family and friends of his friend Lance Mills, who sadly is his funeral today. He was only 34 years old when he passed away on Wednesday, the 20th of January. So, and he sadly passed away from COVID. So awful. So sorry about that, Lee. And I hope it wasn't too difficult for us. So we're sending you all of our love. Obviously a lot of people are suffering big time from this sort of thing. So, and Lee's been an enormous supporter of mine for years and years and years. We've known each other for a long time, haven't we, pal? So thinking of you. And I know you're thinking of Lance. That's Lance Mills, who sadly passed away. So send your love to Lee there. Paul, Aaron, Toby, what's your daily routine if you were on tour? Do you do vocal warm-ups? Do you go to a museum, etc.? All of those things, Paul. And what I'm interested in when I'm on tour is keeping healthy as much as I can. Unfortunately, the last experience I had, which was the Steel Panther tour, I was still recovering from, I don't know what it was. It might have been COVID. I don't know. I was very, very poorly in all the symptoms. Of course, I didn't know what it was at that particular point. But it suffered. It went on for months and months, and I went all the way through the Panther tour feeling very poorly, really, quite honestly. But what I try and do is just have to keep myself quiet. I look after, in the best set of circumstances, I look after my voice as much as possible. Try and keep the eating under control, and I do try and get out to wherever we are in the world. It's such a privilege touring, especially in Europe, which is now sadly going to be a lot more difficult, as we know. But it is a privilege, you know, you end up in somewhere like Berlin and, you know, you've got a day off and you can go and have a look at everything, you know, which I did on that tour. I went to the Brandenburg Gate and sort of visited all the known sites, and it was wonderful, you know, it is a real privilege. So I try and take in as much as I can and, you know, enjoy the countries. That's what I try and do. Okay, anything else going on there, ladies?
Caroline asks, do you think there will ever be a Little Angels or a Wayward Sons live album?
Ah, funny you should say that. Well, there's lots of possibilities going on with the Angels. I mean, we talked, I mean, just before, you know, COVID kicked off, we were talking about all sorts of things, just very tentatively, not really sort of fully making plans, but just talking. And, you know, we were discussing like the download audio, and we were discussing things like that. And we've also got some audio from the Oxford show, the very first show we ever had back. So I think there is a possibility that that might emerge. It'll depend on how good it sounds. It'll depend on how, you know, what the interest is. But I think that's a possibility. I'd like to see that go out. Wayward Sons live, watch this space. We've got to get the album out first, but we've got some plans for that as well. I mean, you know, the one only good thing about the situation we're in at the moment is we've got plenty of time to plan things. So yeah, you know, we'll see. Let's just sort of see what happens. Okay, well, how are we doing for time? Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, well, I'm going to move on to another song here. This has proven to be quite difficult, but we'll see how we get on. This one was a track that I wrote sort of at a middle period. I was sort of working with Roger Davis and Matt Eldridge, and also Dean Howard from Tapau, the guitar player from Tapau, was a good mate of mine, and we started to work on new material. And this was kind of like the first reaction to me after I'd sort of had my dalliance with pop music and trying to write some different sort of more mellow stuff and more country orientated stuff, all sorts of things. And even some programmed stuff, you know, some programming and all that. I kind of got back in touch with Dean and started rehearsing and having some fun playing. And I started writing some more sort of rock stuff. And this track we recorded as the one. This is one of the extra tracks on the Viewfinder album that has never been released. And this was kind of recorded in a one weekend with a whole bunch of other things. And it's a bit of an odd, but it's a rock and roll tune. And I quite like it. Let's see what you think. This is called Little Bird. Open up, you know, stand aside. got it open. Cool. Okay, going to move on immediately. I wanted to do this tune because this one was left off this compilation because the master was unfortunately damaged. But quite a few people have expressed interest in this tune. I've always kind of liked it, and I think it's a shame that it didn't. You know, we couldn't get it on the record. We tried to resurrect it, but there was some big sort of what we call digital glitches in the audio, and it was almost impossible. I tried to edit round it, but it wouldn't work. So I'm going to try this because a couple of people have been mentioning this, so I thought I'd give it a go, even though it's not strictly on the record. I know. Well, I'm going to record it again, I think. I'll do it again somehow, and there we go. So yeah, cool. How are we doing?
Good.
Have we had a good night? Thanks for being here again. Absolutely wonderful. Really appreciate it. Like I say, please like and share these posts. Boring, I know, but it helps. It really helps us. Yeah, paypal.me/Jepsongs. All proceeds going to Maddie tonight. So there we are. And thank you, Maddie. Round of applause. Round of applause there for Maddie. So cool. Yeah. So yes, please. If you're watching this now, number one. If you're watching it over the next course of the week, please put a number two. It really helps us. There we go. Okay. So yeah. Any last things going on there?
I think you've still got loads on your sheet.
Have I got loads on my sheet? I'll do a few on the sheet.
Can you wish Laura Greenwood a happy 45th birthday from her husband Phil?
Okay, Laura, Phil, your husband.
It's Laura's 40th birthday
I know.
on Saturday.
But Phil, your husband, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phil. I'll get there in the end. Wishing you a happy 45th birthday. How's that? Is that
Yeah, that's all.
that's sort of alright? I'm getting old. Okay. Gillian Potter. Can 8-year-old Ava please have a shout out? She was so excited when lyric sheets came the other day until she saw it was mine, even though she already got one herself. Oh, well, Ava, thank you so much. Brilliant. New generation of kids who are into the music. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. So, love to you. Lee Desmond, would love a shout out. It's my birthday on Tuesday. I know it's cheeky. It's not cheeky at all then, Lee. It's absolutely brilliant. I don't even know how old you are. So that's you kept that secret. You kept that secretly. But yeah. Oh, congratulations, dear boy. Old time rock and roll in the socks. Woof woof. I don't know what that means, but it's good. It's good, Charlie. Charlie Power there. A good. That's a good one. And what else have we got here? We've got a few going on. Hang on, here's another one. We've got Craig Wilson. Who's the funniest, funny, not particularly funny, person you have ever worked with? Or not peculiar funny. Funniest person I've ever worked with. I think, yeah, Matt Eldridge really absolutely comes to the top. Matty was very, very naturally gifted as a comedian. Always funny, always sort of gentle giant, wasn't he? I mean, especially when the kids were little, that was great. I had great fun with Matt. He was fantastically hilarious, and we've always had a bit of a laugh with that. I mean, Steve Strange, my agent, is one of the funniest people in the world. I don't even think he knows it. But he's absolutely brilliant. I'm in tux all the time whenever I'm with Steve. He's brilliant company. And he's got some great stories. So that's funny. And also, actually, weirdly, you might not believe this, but Fast Eddie Clarke was very funny. He had a very sharp wit. And there was a lot, he came out with some absolute pearlers, you know. He's always known as the enfant terrible, but he was brilliantly funny. And again, I think his intellect was the reason, because he could see things from a slightly different perspective. So quite a few people. There's been quite a few. Oh, Dave. Oh, yeah. Come on, Dave. And speaking of which, next week, I believe, unless I'm going to be told off by Rob, next week we're doing a quiz with Dave. That's what next week's Digital Busker is. So we're going to do a whole quiz like we did at Christmas, but it's going to be, get this, it's going to be about the 80s. So I insist that everyone dresses up in their best 80s garb, and I want pictures. I want, if you don't have the pictures, it didn't happen, all right? So that's what we're going to do. We're putting together an 80s quiz. I'll play a few tunes as well, but Dave's going to be online. He's going to be doing the whole thing. He probably doesn't even know it yet. He might be watching and he's just gone, oh my! But yes, he is. Because Dave is probably the funniest man alive, I would say. Brian Summerson, hi Toby, it's my son Ben's 12th birthday tomorrow, so please could you wish him all the best. He's asked me to request The Man Who Sold the World. Also, oh, how fantastic. What a great choice. So Ben Summerson, happy 12th birthday, pal. I hope you have a lovely, lovely time. And we've got one here, Louise Chamberlain. Could you please wish my son Ben a happy 30th birthday for Tuesday? Another Ben. And also wish his girlfriend Raquel a happy birthday for Sunday. Well, there you go. Wished you all happy birthdays. So brilliant. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt this one. This one is sometimes hit and miss because I forget the chords a bit. But we'll see how we get on. And I should have played this last week, but I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't feel very confident about it. I don't feel very confident about this song half the time, but we'll see how we get on. James Toseland covered this, but this is to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here again. We'll see you next week. Details will be out there. Like I say, please like and share the post, etc. Okay, one called Just No Way to Stop From Loving You. I said goodbye so many times that I can't hide the truth. That there's just no way to stop from loving you. I tried to leave, but I can see nothing that I can do. There's just no way to stop from loving you. I feel your presence, and I am nearer than a child. You stand from high above me, vanquish man and night. In the single breathless moments, there's nothing left to do. No, there's just no way to stop from loving you. Give me a stop, let you dance, that was so cool. There was just no way to stop from loving you. And as I touch your skin, I know I can win again, 'cause I know I can. Just no way to stop from loving you. When you penetrate the surface, I grow weaker each day. And the world of pleasures, you shoot and blow my heart away. Every waking moment, I'm giving love so deep and true. No, there's just no way to stop from loving you. You're strong when I am weak. You're the truth when I'm alive. You can calm me with a single word. You can soothe me with your eyes. You amaze me, you sustain me. I was lost before I met you, now I'm found. Yeah, I'm found, safe and sound. You have taken me to the higher ground. Now every waking moment, I am willing at your feet. Obsessively, I stay awake at night so I can watch you sleep. If I had a million lifetimes, I couldn't live without you. Without you, no, there's just no way. There's just no way. There's just no way to stop from loving Good night, folks. See you next week. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated. Oh, God, might have flipping known it.
Bye-bye.
Had a shower yesterday. Still
Bye-bye,
stinks.
Josie.
Still smells.
Say goodbye.
Thanks a lot, folks. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Cheerio. Thanks.